Hello, my name is Tia Singleton, and I will be doing this presentation on Juana Inez de la Cruz. Juana Inez de la Cruz was born Juana Ramirez de Asage on November 12, 1651, in San Miguel, Nepantla of New Spain, which is now located in Mexico. Though the exact year of her birth has been questioned because it has been documented as being as early as 1648 from the various sources that I found. Throughout her lifetime, Juana became known as a poet, a dramatist, a scholar, a nun, and was an outstanding writer of the Latin American colonial period. Early in life, Juana was sent to live with her grandparents in Mexico City. While with her grandparents, she would sneak into her grandfather's library and she learned how to read at the very young age of 3. During that time period, women or girls were not looked upon highly for being educated. News of this gifted child in Mexico City traveled fast and attracted the attention of the viceroy or ruler of Mancera named Antonio Sebastian de Toledo. He was so amazed with Juana's giftedness that he invited her to his home as a lady in waiting around 1664. While at his home, he wanted to have her knowledge tested, so he invited about 40 scholars to test her knowledge, and she proved extremely knowledgeable to them all. So Juana was so hungry for knowledge that she gave up her total declination to marriage and wrote her wishes to have no fixed occupation that might prevent her from furthering her education and gaining knowledge. At the very young age of 16, she took vows and became a nun in the convent of Santa Paula in New Mexico. Therefore, Sor was added to the Juana, and Sor is Spanish for sister. Therefore, she became known as Sor Juana or Sister Juana. At the monastery, Sor Juana had privilege to a private room where she would be able to study and gain as much knowledge as she felt necessary. She was able to collect books and articles to develop one of the largest private libraries that included musical and scientific instruments. Also at the monastery, she was afforded the opportunity to teach music and drama to the girls of Santa Paula School. So Juana also functioned as an archivist and an accountant for the convent as well. So Juana was able to master a full range of poetic forms and themes of the Spanish Golden Age. She became known as the last great writer of the Baroque period and the first great exemplar of colonial Mexican culture. In her writings, there's a display of boundless inventiveness, wit, and wordplay, dense erudition, and strange syntax with schematic abstraction. She also employed all of the poetic models in fashion during that era, which included sonnets and ballad form romances. So Juana's writings drew on classical, biblical, and mythological sources. So Juana wrote moral, satiric, and religious lyrics, along with many poems of praise to court figures. Even though she was a nun, so Juana wrote secular love lyrics from serious to comical, scholarly, and popular. Here are some of her most known writings. Foolish Men, she claimed that men would blame women for their own faults. In this work, she portrayed women as a more logical partner in love battles with men. Relationships are problematic. In The Divine Narcissist, she wrote about a woman in the form of nature looking for her lover, the narcissist, which represented Christ. This was noted as a masterpiece of the religious theater. The next one, First Dream, was a long poem about a dream that was told after the narrator woke in the morning. The poem was like Juana because it focused on the human desire to know and understand the world. Juana became very famous in Mexico and in Spain. And as we all know, with fame, there is disapproval, and it came from the church. In 1680, Juana's Jesuit confessor, Antonio Nunez de Miranda, publicly humiliated her by writing and publishing a letter that she wrote. Juana quickly replied the way she did, defending all women's rights. All that led to her having to choose between writing and the church. She chose the church and only wrote religious writings from this point forward. As a result, she lost her library. Today, Juana is a national icon of Mexico and Mexican identity. She is the center of higher education for women. Her image also appears on Mexican currency. Juana's rising interest in feminism allowed her to become the first published feminist of the New World. This concludes my presentation. I hope it was informative. Have a good day.